Hi, I'm Brooke and this is Pippa and we travel full-time in my 2004 Honda CRV, and today we are going to be talking about dating. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps us out a lot. YouTube is my full-time job, so it really does help when you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's just get into this whole dating thing. Other than where I go to the bathroom, I'm pretty sure dating is my next most commonly asked question about living in a car and traveling full time. And I've avoided it for a super long time, not because I'm embarrassed to talk about my dating life or anything like that, but it's just really not a focus in my life at all. Just for a little backstory, I've only been in one serious relationship in my entire life. I have never been one to want my life goal to be to settle down, have kids, get married, and buy a house with a picket fence and have the American dream life. So I think it would make sense that I have other goals that I pursue outside of dating. But at the same time, I just am not super focused on finding a serious, committed relationship. Does that mean that I wouldn't be open to it if it ever fell in my lap? No, but I'm just not on dating apps and things like that constantly trying to find someone to fill the void in my life. I also don't want biological children of my own. I actually had my tubes removed a few years ago, and so I have already made those plans for myself and made all those big decisions to want to be child-free. So because I don't have the pressure of wanting to procreate, I also don't feel like I have the pressure to walk down the aisle or to settle down right now. I am 31. I know for a lot of people, time would be ticking, but for me, it's just not something that I think about all the time. That said, I do date on the road. I do meet people who I have some sort of attraction to that I would want to date or have some sort of relationship with. But when you travel full time and you aren't looking for a settle down serious commitment, it just looks a little bit different than how people date, I guess, in real life. Most of the people I date on the road are people who also travel or have some sort of nomadic or outdoorsy kind of lifestyle that kind of keeps them on the go all of the time. So if you think of like other van lifers, other RVers, other thru hikers, backpackers, people who travel a lot for work, things like that are the people I tend to date or meet up with. Most of these people I do meet through social media or meetups that I've gone to for, especially when I was in my RV. I went to a few RV meetups and met people there that I've connected with. And the nice part is that you can leave if things aren't going well. You can just get in your RV or your car or something and just drive away if the date didn't go well. Dating also looks a lot different because of people who have alternative lifestyles. It's more just like hanging out. It's a lot more casual to date someone who also lives on the road because you're usually meeting up at a campsite, at an event, at a dog park, a hiking trail, a lake, things like that. I'm not really going out to restaurants a whole lot, and if I am, I have the dog with me. The people I usually tend to date also have animals, so it's just more of like patio type situations, taking food to go, sitting at the park, hanging out, things like that. At the very beginning of my nomad journey, when I was still in the RV, I did try to date two people who lived in apartments, and I very quickly realized that that kind of dating scenario where one person has a quote-unquote normal job and a normal life and the other person is nomadic really does not work out. It's really hard for me to be expected to wait around until somebody's done with their 9 to 5 and basically just be at their beck and call when they have time because they have a normal life. And we tend not to have the same goals because the expectation at the end of that dating is that I will sacrifice my nomad lifestyle and settle down with them when I'm ready. I've had that talk more than a few times, even on dating apps and things like that, that it is the expectation that this wild one will then settle down, move to their town, because I guess it seems like I don't care where I end up and that I will just fall into their life when I'm ready. And I don't want that to be the case at all. I want a future partner of mine to want to travel, or that already has some sort of love for traveling, whether it's domestic, international, camping, camping, things like that, or somebody that just wants to push me into different types of travel, whether that's backpacking or through hiking or things like that I can do that I haven't had my eyes opened up to yet either. So I will say, if you are somebody in my comments who is very sweet and very complimentary of me or wants to hang out with me or go on a date, it probably won't happen unless you are also a nomad and that we meet organically. I really have no interest in meeting some stranger from the internet at this point for safety reasons. I also get asked a very few times, but I feel like I do get asked about my sexuality a few times. I don't think it's very clear because I feel like I am very like straight passing, but I do identify more as a pansexual, bisexual person. I don't really care what bits you have. I'm more down with like the vibe. I will say the majority of people who I meet and date on the road tend to be women. For some reason, men maybe are intimidated by my lifestyle or don't prefer it, which is totally fine. But women seem to be much more open about it, and that is just who I tend to date on the road. I have dated men sparingly on the road, but it just isn't as many. The next part of this equation is always, how do you have sex? And I think that's such an invasive question, asking somebody how they have sex. I know it's something the same thing as like, how do you go to the bathroom? It's like, I know it has to happen, but I need to know how. And it's like this innate need that we all need to know. But if you're not a potential partner of mine, it's really not something that you need to know about. But if you think about going camping, like tents exist, people have RVs, things like that. I know at other times in my life, I have hooked up with people in a car without a bed, so you can use your imagination for that. I am not going to give you the specifics because that is something I discuss with a potential partner if that's going to happen. Same thing with some people saying that they would never date me because I am dirty. I promise you, I shower, and especially if I'm going to meet somebody I have a crush on or have an interest in, I make sure I shower before going on a date. This is such a weird topic for me to discuss because, like I said, I don't see myself getting legally married. I would be open to having a long-term committed partner. I'm not really like a commitment phobe or anything like that. I just haven't found the right mix of travel companionship, I guess, at this point. I do see comments every once in a while that it looks like I'm alone all the time and it must be so lonely and blah, blah, blah. I just prefer not to share people on the internet because if you've read through any of my comments, a lot of them anymore are not very nice, and I don't feel like it would be fair to subject a new relationship to the internet and to have them scrutinized as well and our relationship scrutinized based on our lifestyle. And so I don't feel like that would be anything I would share unless it was super, super serious or that they also were a content creator. So I know that it looks like I'm alone all the time. It looks like I have no friends. It looks like I don't date. But you guys only see a few minutes of each day of mine. And I also do a lot of my filming on the same couple days. So I do have like full weeks at a time where I'm not filming that you guys don't even see. It's a very different expectation when you're on the road. Most of the time in regular life, you have your stuff going on and they have their stuff going on. And maybe you meet up a couple times a week when you first start dating. Whereas when you're on the road, maybe you're only in a certain area for a few days. So you kind of have to pack in your dates all within those few days if you're going to go separate ways. And there always is the expectation that you will separate and go your separate ways at some point. At least for me, there is no expectations, even if I have the most amazing time with a person, that we will not go our separate ways for a while and meet back up later if we wanted to, or keep in contact and keep in touch. But there is no expectation to all of a sudden settle down right away and be with each other 24/7. I don't really operate like that. I think it's very healthy to continue having your independent life of somebody else. Plus, obviously, it seems like none of us work on the road, but a lot of us do. And so when we do have to work, you have to be separate anyways and get your own stuff done and have your own alone time to decompress and everything like that. So it just works a little bit differently. I could have a really amazing 3 or 4 days with somebody and then not see them again for a month or two, but I would consider us still dating, because there is that expectation that we have plans to meet up in the future, and that's kind of part of like signing up for a lot of long distance relationships. My friendships are very, very similar in the fact that I have to work a little bit harder to maintain those long distance friendships, so we can pick up right where we left off if we are in the same area to go camping again and everything like that. It just works a little bit differently out here. But if you are getting on the road as a solo traveler and only getting on the road to find someone, it's going to be a very, very, very lonely experience for you. You need to be so okay with spending all of the time by yourself, because there is a lot of downtime while you are alone. I have a whole video on how I feel about loneliness on the road, and I still feel the exact same. I want to eventually share as much of this travel experience with another person, whether that's a very best friend of mine or that is a romantic partner. But at the same time, I have to be okay with it just being Pippa and I and having those memories together. And I'm very secure in entertaining myself and loving myself and exploring alone. So I feel like I don't come off super, I don't want to say desperate, but super desperate to just find anyone that wants to caravan with me, or any warm body just to fill a spot so I can feel content and feel safe in my life. I want to provide the other half to a relationship as a whole person, instead of looking for someone to fill in all of the gaps for me. I've done a lot of work on myself in the 2 years now that I've been on the road, and I think it has made me a better person, a better partner, a better friend, and I want to continue that journey. And part of that is finding people that challenge you and help you upgrade your life and take you to new experiences and new places and things like that. And not all of it requires a romantic partner, but sometimes it's fun to have that around. So as much as I would love to say that I'm just out here alone all the time, just the way that it seems, that I never date or do any of that stuff, it is just simply not true. I'm human like everyone else. I want to have human connection, and it just looks a lot differently. So if you guys have more questions, I can always make a part 2, but I hope this explained just a little bit about all of this and how it works. But some of it just isn't your business, so if I don't answer, sorry. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!